let it be said now, I'm using the full name of animation for anime because shit's gone down. And you know what happens when shit gone down? The parent uses the full name. Middle name included. Ooh, that's when you know you're really in trouble. But hello everyone, I'm Sinibar, and welcome back to a treatise. And this is the series where I like to get your opinions, along with letting you know where I stand on things. And in this case, it's not so much a treatise as an open treaty, and an open letter to the anime industry on the western side of the Great Liquid Divide, otherwise known as the Pacific. See, I have no faults with you, Japan. I have no problems, no qualms, or ill will. Do I like everything that you do? No. But you have not wronged anybody. You produced what you wanted to, and it is us who have to accept what you give. That being said, and that over with, to the real point and stands of this. On Twitter the other day, a man by the name of Rev, who apparently says Desu a lot, if his username has anything to say about it, he put out a video where one of Funimation's voice actors, for English I would assume, has essentially lambasted and then done the half-hearted retraction of saying something stupid. You know exactly what kind of retractions we're talking about. The half-hearted, yeah, well, my point still stands, but since you guys got mad at me, kind of a deal. And this has moved me so much. Actually, I recorded this, and it was just more of a yell rant, and I got that off my chest. It is now a day later, and I've calmed down, and I'm willing now to talk as an adult, instead of just ramble. I mean, it's still going to be ramble, but at least it sounds and looks kind of more professional. So, there's going to be 2 or maybe 3 distinct parts to this. And the first one I think is going to be the main point of why he or she, I don't know, this particular voice actor, because the details are blurred, and I didn't feel like going to the toxic cesspit of Twitter to actually find the original. I do have my limits, gentlemen. I do. I specifically say gentlemen because, ladies, I have no limits that I shan't go for you. Trust me. Anyway. What this voice actor said that essentially kicked it off, or what I assume is what started it, is the earlier news this week of Kiss Anime and their associated piece, Kiss Manga, for those of you who actually like to read the source material, because apparently to you, the books matter. They were shut down due to copyright claims after, I'm going to probably say, at least a good near 30 years run. Okay, I actually don't know when Kiss Anime was founded, but I'm going to say it was the 90s. Alright? So 1990 to 2000 to 2010. So 2000, 2010. Yeah, almost 30 years. Jesus Christ, I know he was born in 1990. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Come on. So, sorry, I got sidetracked. I just realized, oh my god, damn, I'm older than I think. But back to the point. This anime has finally been shut down due to copyrights, and well, this is slightly divisive to some people of the anime community. I personally, yes, I use Kiss Anime. I could say fight me, but unfortunately there's nothing to fight over now anymore. And the battle has been lost to us. But some people this was and still is the best way just to get it. Simply because it's fast and it's easy, and if I really don't want to. And plus, just to make sure that you're cognitive still. And sometimes that's important. But yes, I get it. It really isn't that good, in all honesty. And I know that, but I was willing to accept the compromise of it's not that good for the very much, and the skill checks essentially, for the very much ease of if I ever felt like going to the source material, I could. And way more importantly to me is they have everything how I want it, whether I want it censored or not. Any decent pirate site, yes, you can do that too. But to be honest, the Goblin checks are actually kind of really important to me. And there's a funny ninja story in there too. And I'm not going to tell that today. I'll do that some other day. But, yeah. Here's what's going down, though. This voice actor, again, I'm going to assume it's the English voice actor because Funimation, and they're very well known for their English dubs. They essentially went on Twitter saying, thank God Kiss Anime is gone, because those of you who can't afford a $9.99 subscription to a streaming service of anime doesn't deserve to watch anime, and that is some real colonizer BS. And Rev goes into this very well, and I'm going to very much say check out his video as well. I'll put it in the description below. And if I ever tripping over my tongue there. And if I ever decide to actually put up cards, I'll put one up. Whatever I said, Rev. So I'd just like to elaborate on those. First, that and the post actually had a giant list of statements that are, I'm gonna guess what he says is, or what this voice actor thinks is some common questions in his very patronizing answer down to those. And there's I think maybe 2 legitimate points where I can see, yeah, you might have a point. But keyword in there is might. Everything else is complete and utter bullshit. And I'm going to attack this one at a time for what I can remember off the top of my head. Okay? But the first one is specifically that if you can't afford it, you don't deserve it. Really? Are you sure you want to say that, guy? Because currently most companies can't afford to pay people, yet they're still paying who they have to. No one in this world wants to pay for things. Heck, most people don't even want to pay for anime when pirate sites have that shit on lock. But a lot of people still bite the bullet to go through legitimate sources for the simple fact of that gives them, in theory, a tiny little help to getting the things that they want. Alright? And that was one of his other points. It's like you paying for a subscription to Crunchyroll or to Funimation, it helps the industry. Not really. Yes, I know I'm gonna start the sub versus dub wars over here down in the comments, and just to put my cent in right now, since I'm on that topic, I personally prefer dubbed, but I watch most of my anime in subbed. Just saying. Personal preference is dubbed, but I get way more subbed, and I'm okay with reading. Can I read? No, but I personally still like reading more. Anyways, no, I know actually I like listening to it in English, but I don't feel like watching Kung Fu Lips. Or at least, modern Kung Fu Lips. The old stuff dubbed, oh, it's fantastic. It is literally Kung Fu fight, old, 50s Kung Fu films. You killed my father! The lips continue to move after saying you killed my father. Ah, yes. I love that, man. Anyways, nostalgia breakover. Just because someone can't afford it doesn't mean that they don't deserve it. Because you don't know what their situation is. I'm a college student currently with, I think, about $20 in my, bank account. I know! For a college student, I'm bloody rich right now. $20 in the account? Shit. But I have to admit, earlier this week, I was up to a whopping $26. Yeah. Yeah. I was really eating high on the hog then. But $6 were taken out because I have a Funimation subscription that is monthly. Why not yearly? Because fuck you, I'm not doing yearly. Yeah, I know it's technically cheaper over all the months, but to be honest, there are some months where legitimately I'm not watching Funimation, and those are the months where it's like, I'm okay with spending $6. And again, some people never use their Netflix if they still have a Netflix thing, a Netflix subscription, and that's like $7 a month or $14 a month. Sorry, it's $13.99, so $14 a month for the basic package. You can see what I'm saying on that one, but some people legitimately $6 for the monthly, which is the cheapest option, breaks the bank. Hell, $2 breaks the bank. There are some people currently out there, like even before the Corona shit hit, which obviously doesn't help, but and I'll get to that one definitely in a moment. But I just want to finish this line of some people before Corona hit, legitimately $2 was breaking the bank for them, without needing to, for what they're making. $2 was the difference of making rent or not making rent, or making the car payment alongside rent or not. And legitimately they'll go a couple of days without eating. And when they do eat, it's the cheapest dollar store or the corner bodega thing that they can get. Just a nice roll with some butter. $2. Fine, I'll bite the bullet and spend that $2, but then I'm not eating for the rest of today and tomorrow. Because I can't. Or every day it's ramen. Yeah, college life sometimes never leaves you when you're in the professional world. Can I just say, it sometimes just does never leave you. Yep. But back now to that point I was making earlier. Then Corona hit, and now with some people furloughed and just upright fired, they legitimately can't afford $6 a month. Now I know some people get these stimulus checks, but a lot of people didn't as well. So for them, $6 is essentially the same thing as $1 million. Okay? You have to look at everything in context. Alright. So, I think that horse is very well beaten and dead. Okay? On to another one of if you're pirating anime, you're the worst kind of slime out there. Well, no. What about the people who live in places where your product doesn't come? There are places in the world where Funimation, Crunchyroll, any streaming service that you particularly happen to fancy doesn't reach. And no, I'm not just talking about Africa, because yes, in Africa they do got that shit. So screw you for being Africanist. But legitimate parts of developed society where Funimation isn't a thing, and Crunchyroll isn't a thing. Now, obviously, the case in point is North Korea, but that's just too easy. Okay? And do I know any other places? No. But I know they're out there. And what about those people? Do you think an entire untapped market who doesn't know what anime is wouldn't just up and go, what is this fancy moving pictures that isn't Walt Disney made? Has my life been a lie? That's how you get young people into it. And people who've never gone and seen anime. That's actually sometimes the best way to do it. By giving them pirated things. And actually, I'm going to quickly go back to North Korea. Because, remember, they're known as the Hermit Kingdom. They don't know what the hell outside really looks like. Okay? And you're constantly hearing stories on the news about, how a North Korean defector is sending over, Western media showing what, people's rights and what a normal civilization looks like. And a lot of people in North Korea are now slowly getting to the point of, I'm living in a horrible society. I need to leave. Okay? And that's a good thing. And for some people who are in a horrible, horrible life state, well, anime is their distraction to make the insufferable days that they have to survive through a little bit less insufferable. Anime pulls people out of depressions, and it does legitimately act as therapy for some people. And good on them. So you're saying if that person moves to somewhere where they can no longer get anime, you're saying that person deserves to suffer, essentially. Mr. Voice Actor person. Well, I find that highly deplorable. Just you're below whale shit of the highest order, or even of the lowest order, to put it even more frankly. And to be honest, I think that's really the two major ones that stuck out in my head. And yes, I know there's quite a few other ones. And then I think one of the points actually devolved into three that he specifically pointed out. But I'd like to end it on an open letter to the anime industry in the West, and then an addendum to the East. So, dear anime corporations of America, because specifically it is you who are the main problem. So really, this is just an open letter to Funimation and Crunchyroll. Yes, Netflix and Hulu, and the all-powerful Roku. Yes, I know two of you out there have Rokus, and just for you guys, I said that. But to those who actually are distributors of anime in the West, so definitely yes, Netflix. I think Hulu as well. I'm not too sure about them. I don't have a Hulu, and I don't know anybody who does. Not saying that they're not out there. It's just personally around my in my circle, I don't. But definitely Funimation and Crunchyroll. This is to you, dear asshats. Do you not think that controlling what your people on your payroll say is important? Because I'm just gonna hazard a guess and say you don't. Because your monopoly and that kind of shit don't matter. And to that point, how have you not been forced to break up? Seriously, you guys, between Crunchyroll and Funimation, already have a well over 50, heck, I'm gonna say well over 75% of the content around. Now you may equally share that other percentage. You may equally share that 75% that you do control. But still, Rockefeller didn't corner the market completely on oil. He had a lion's share of it, but he still didn't technically control it all. Yet somehow he was destroyed and forced to break it up. Anyways, I'm directly speaking to you now as a consumer of your product. Specifically, definitely you, Funimation, but Crunchyroll is lumped in here for a reason. I would like to air some grievances that I know you've heard, but aren't actively giving a shit about. Like, say, your poor selection. There are shows on my never-ending shows to watch list that aren't being, viewed by me. And now in this time of questionable health choices, let's put it like that, now I have more free time. Yes, I know I'm currently doing this in August and school is about to start off, but even then I still have a bunch of time. I still have an assload of time. Because home learning is still a thing. And in between classes, I can watch one quick episode of something. And when the current seasons are forced to be a week-to-week thing because production takes a week, well, I have downtime and I could catch up on shows that I haven't seen yet and are on my wish list to finally perpetually make it one shorter while adding 3 more. Yes, it's 1 step forward, 3 steps back. We all know that. But you don't have everything I want to watch. Heck, you don't even have a quarter of what I want to watch. I know. What do you mean? We're perfect and we have never screwed over anybody, and we have the most complete list of anime for anyone out there. No. The Pirates have you beat. They literally have things from the 50s. Now, to be fair, Funimation does as well. The first 6 episodes of Astro Boy and the entirety of Speed Racer. And Kimba the White Lion. Do also be frank. Wow, you actually have Kimba? Okay, fair enough. I'll give you a slight hat tip for Kimba. And I'll give you a slight hat tip for Speed Racer because I do want to watch the rest of the seasons. Because I do have Speed Racer on 2 discs, the first 12 episodes and the last 12 episodes. So I'm still missing out of that 56 the rest of them in the middle. I'm sorry, I'm too lazy to do math right now. But what about, and you only have the first 6 episodes of Astro Boy. There are more than 6 episodes of Astro Boy, you do realize this, correct? I don't know about Crunchyroll, we'll have to ask some people about that. And I'll probably do a further treatise on animation, just to specifically call that an update. But to you sirs out there, why not have the fullness of it? Because I have to say this right now. You guys, between the 2 of you, seriously, 75% of the market. Why not just give us the rest of the things we want to watch? Instead of me having to go through about 18 different services to get everything I want. That seems completely asinine. And more basically, just incredibly stupid. Especially you, Funimation. You guys have been around since the 90s. And I know you guys have been around since the 90s. You have the power. Because I really do believe you have well over 2,000 licenses for different shows throughout the years. How the hell can't you just put all the licenses on your platform? I don't understand that. Yeah, they may not all be dubbed and they may not all be subbed, but sub takes a lot less time than dubbing. And plus it's the same 20 people over and over again. I'm tired of hearing their voices. Go find some new guys. Alright. That's a slight bit of a rant out. Let's get back to calm yelling. I wasn't just talking. You guys in Funimation and Crunchyroll also have the majority of the product revenue that comes from selling merchandise from these studios. I like Princess Mononoke, and I would love to have a Princess Mononoke poster, says some random anime person. But I can't figure out heads or tails of this your Japanese site for Studio Ghibli. I know. I'll go to my favorite streaming service. Let's go say Crunchyroll in this one. I'll go buy a Princess Mononoke poster from them. Huh. Let's see. It says I can get it here for $50. That seems like a good price. I'll buy it from you. But you don't know, oh person who just bought that Princess Mononoke poster $50 from Crunchyroll is that $50, out of that $50, I'm gonna say probably 5, a whole 10% goes back to the people who actually made it. Whereas I'm gonna guess at least a $10 licensing fee that Crunchyroll keeps, and the rest goes directly into shipping and handling from Crunchyroll when they have a full warehouse of it somewhere probably near you. And they're saying, oh no, we got it straight from Japan. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you say. Where, if you went back to that Studio Ghibli site, and yes, I know Google Translate is horrible, but if you Google Translate it to at least get basic English of what it's saying, you realize, wait, it'll cost me roughly, converted from yen to dollars, it'll cost me roughly $26. So, actually, I might have misconverted this in my head. I'm gonna say a number. I think it is wrong, but just go with it. That's 26,000 yen. Huh. You could have gotten it for about half the price if you went through Studio Ghibli. And way more importantly, they don't have to pay a licensing fee to themselves. Yeah, I know. And now that $26 that you just spent, and I can tell you a good actual $10 will go to the printer for their time in making, the print itself, getting the right paper and such, and printing it in volume to make it economical, and so you can buy one that looks exactly like the other 20 billion that there are in the world. And the last bit of that, and the last $16 goes directly into making Studio Ghibli a better studio, because now they can pay, their artist. And you know what? I hear artists actually like to get paid. Unlike what some dude on Reddit will tell you. He also makes YouTube videos. R slash. Dang, I forget. It's R slash something. You probably know him. So, what now, anime community? And now I'm gonna quickly just run over to you guys. What now, anime community? Do you like being robbed blind by the people who say you must like what we like? Or you must like what we give you? Because, personally, I don't like that. But, I can't speak for everyone. I have a subscription to Funimation simply because, well, I had to sell my soul at some point. And I'm giving you the littlest piece of my soul, and to be honest, it's not even that much, and my soul ain't worth a damn. So, I essentially gave you nothing, and reaping the benefits. Whereas, legitimately, if I just decide to completely cut you off, well, I'd actually be reaping more benefits. Because I got $6 again! I can't, unfortunately, take back what at this point probably has to be near $240 that I've paid to you over these years. But, well, a small price to pay. And now, definitely, to the voice actor who started all this. Congratulations, Dick. You're a nice asshole, and when you got lambasted, you faked low and hung your head in quote-unquote shame. More so, it's you're hanging your head in anger downward so people don't see how pissed you are, and you're saying, I'm sorry, because that's what you do. Listen, douche nozzle. You can't say things like that and expect to get away with them. Simply because you're directly bashing the people who are giving you a paycheck. Alright? At any point, and I really want to make this clear to everyone in the distribution in the West of anime. At any point, legitimately, all of the people that are watching on your services can just say fuck it, stop paying you, and go and easily pirate. Because they're that ubiquitous. Oh no, Kiss Anime is gone. There's still another 5,000 of them. We'll just move our business elsewhere. And you guys forget that, I think. You guys are forgetting that. At one point, you were the little guy, and we all decided, you know what, we'll try you guys out. And we helped build you. Actively bad-mouthing the people who made you what you are is a horrible business strategy, and in general, is a horrible thing to do. So why do you insist on doing it? I don't know. All I know is that if you guys can weather the PR nightmare that you have created for yourselves, well, more power to you. And as a final point, I'd like to point out that you need to watch your backs constantly. Okay? Because what happens next when you are tyrants and despots is very well known to history. A new young upstart that you cast aside earlier will rise up against you and destroy you. Kill off anyone really who remembers what you are, and anyone who is closely associated with you shall never work again. Be afraid, and at least try to future-proof yourself. Sometimes it is inevitable. Sometimes it's avoidable, and sometimes it is inevitable, but you can at least cushion when it happens. How can you do this? Go back to the beginning of this nice tirade. Offer more of what we the people want, and pay more to the people who actually are creating the content that you're just giving us. Won't be mad at, you'll still be mad at you, but at least it'll show that you're in the process of realizing maybe we're in the wrong here, guys. Maybe. And at least if you admit it to yourself, it actually might click, and you'll realize, oh, we actually were in the wrong, and we need to make amends. Because sometimes that's the best thing to say. That I was wrong, and you were right. Anyways, I hope something here permeated your thick skulls. If it did, well, I'm surprised. When I have to go through 9 million miles of thick, dense bullshit, it's very impressive when anything hits there. And second, at least if it didn't, maybe think about it. Okay? Sincerely, a concerned anime fan. And if you have any opinions on what I have said here in this treatise, well, please do be sure to either make your own videos saying what you'd like. It's always good to have other content to judge your own against. Because I might find, well, maybe I am in the wrong here. Or maybe I'm in the right. Or maybe it really is black, or maybe it really is just a giant gray area that I think it is. And of course, if you actually have some words you want to say that you don't feel like actually saying them out loud, well, you can always just, of course, type it out in the comments. That's what they're there for. Thank you guys so much for listening, and until the next treatise, think.